At 65 years old, most people were planning retirement. Harland was planning survival. He stood in the doorway of a small roadside restaurant he once owned, staring at the empty building like a man saying goodbye to a chapter he never meant to finish. The highway had moved. Traffic disappeared. Customers vanished. And the dream he spent years building crumbled almost overnight. All he had left was a battered car, a small social security check, and a secret recipe written on worn paper. Most people would have called it the end. He woke before sunrise the next morning and packed the trunk of his old car with pressure cookers, spices, and bags of flour. The plan sounded ridiculous even to him. He would drive from restaurant to restaurant, knock on doors, cook his chicken for strangers, and ask them to pay him a few cents for every piece they sold. No guarantees. No salary. No safety net. The first restaurant said no. The 10th laughed. The 20th didn't even open the door. By the 100th rejection, the road felt longer, the nights colder, and the dream heavier. Motels were too expensive, so he slept in his car. Some nights he stared at the ceiling of that metal roof and wondered if the world was trying to tell him something. Maybe he was too old. Maybe the dream had expired. Maybe he had missed his moment. But every morning, he ironed his white suit, tied his black string tie, and knocked on another door. Rejection number 300. Rejection number 500. Rejection number 800. Each no felt like a hammer striking the same nail. But instead of breaking, he bent and then straightened again. Because somewhere deep down, he believed something simple. If the recipe was good enough, someone would eventually taste it. One afternoon, after hundreds of miles and countless refusals, a restaurant owner finally agreed to try the chicken. Harland cooked quietly in the kitchen, hands steady from years of practice. The scent filled the room, wrapping itself around everyone present. When the owner took the first bite, the silence that followed felt endless. Then came the words Harland had waited years to hear. Let's make a deal. It wasn't a grand celebration. No fireworks. No headlines. Just a handshake. But that handshake lit a spark that would spread across cities, countries, and continents. Restaurants began to call. Then more. And more. The man who once slept in his car became the face of a brand known around the world. People thought the secret was the recipe. 11 herbs. 11 spices. Perfectly fried chicken. But Harland knew the truth. The real secret wasn't written on paper. It was written in persistence. Years later, when people asked how he found success so late in life, he would smile gently and say, I didn't find success. I chased it until it got tired of running. And somewhere, in a small kitchen filled with the sound of sizzling oil, the recipe that refused to quit kept changing lives. One bite, one dream, and one stubborn believer at a time.